Okay, let's get started. It's another crafty day. By which I mean, we'll be spending another 4 hours at least crafting. We finish when we finish, you know? I will pet Ubechi. Ubechi deserves pets. Deserves all the pets, even. Yo, Ubechi's friendship bros. Life is good. Okay, Cookie, you get some pets too. Because I am a good parent who loves my children equally. Even when they're just cute little pets. Yep, for sure. I never show any favoritism. That's true. That's a true statement. There's no need to interrogate or examine that. That's just simply true. But yeah, I'm feeling more energetic than I have been. Because second, gotta empty my energy. Actually, I should be spending this on sneaking. What am I doing? Sneaking's the one that I actually need to grind. Dash a level accidentally. Sneaking, I have to actually work on. Okay, I'll check challenges. I just assume that I'm gonna get those. Like, maxing everything will get me those accidentally. Like, it'll just happen, right? Like, I'm not gonna try and get the challenges, but mastering every craft will just do that. Okay, looks like we're fine on getting our next bronze tool made. So let's work on that. Hee 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 hee. Yo, look how nice having a bronze hammer is, though. We finish the timing ones in 2 goes now. Oh, hey. We made a better bronze needle first try. We can just equip that real fast. We're good. We did it. Go us. We're the best. Like, we've now obtained the best sewing needle we can make at this tier. Wahoo. Truly, success has been found. Okay, now we just need to make enough needles to master this, so this is our life now for a hot minute. I say as if every craft isn't the same in this game. I will say, I don't hate this crafting minigame, but it is a little, it's a little stale for how many things there are to craft in this game. You know what I mean? Like, if there was less things to craft, I think this would be fine. Like, with less things to craft, I think this crafting system is great even. With hundreds of things to craft that all have bars that you can fill up that require dozens of crafts, I think this crafting system is a little weak for that. It's a little light. It's a little light for the amount of content they gave it, but then again, I'd probably say about the same thing about the battle system too. The battle system is good, but a little light for the amount of content. But at least the battle system has a little more variance for the amount of content that there is. At least every weapon feels like pretty different to use. I think this crafting system would be fine if instead of making like these 3 mini games, like these 3 different kinds of interactions you can do with the A button, they had like a couple of more and mix them around a bit more. Like that, I think that'd be fine. I'm perfectly okay with each crafting job only having 3 of them. I just wish they weren't the same 3. You know, I think the only exception is, I think it is sewing that has 2 of the same. But other than that, I think every single one of them just has these 3 things. I might be a little off on that. One of the others might also have multiple ones. Hi, Gee. I got one nice and made only a great quality item. RIP. Thank you. I say to the person who can't hear. I guess I can type in chat. That is in fact an ability I have. That is in fact just something I can do. It's an option. I forget I can do that. Okay. We continue on our merry way of crafting even more bronze needles. Like, I actually think this crafting system would be perfectly fine if it had just like 2 more crafting types, like crafting station types, that were like split among the various ones. I think ideally what it would have is a unique one for each crafting life, right? Like they all have, like there's these 3 basic ones, and all of the crafting stations have 2 of the basic ones, and then a 3rd one that's unique to that crafting. I think that's like ideal, right? For like, if I was going to take this crafting system and add a little more content to it in a way that made it feel better, that's what I would do, right? I would create 1 extra crafting station for each one. And I wouldn't change anything else. I don't think you need to change anything else, right? I think everything else is fine. I did not mean to exit all the way out. I meant to hit choose a craft. Oops. Oh well. But like that's all I would do. That's all I think you need to do, right? To make it fully work. Time to make a bronze frying pan. A frying pan of bronze. But I think if you do that, that just works so much better. Because I remember really enjoying the first like 4 hours of crafting I did in this game. I was in love with this. I thought it was just such a fun little mini game. And then I did it for another 15 hours. And I wasn't even at master rank on, whoops, I held the button too long. And I wasn't even at master rank on anything, right? Like, it's a lot of content for the crafting system. But like, you know, overall, I still think that I love that I have all these crafting lives to do. I love the amount of crafting content. I would rather have this where I'm a little bored with this crafting system than have less crafting content to grind through. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be clear about that. Having more content is better. And I say that as someone who every single thing that Final Fantasy XIV tracks that you craft, I'm working through crafting. Every single thing it tracks. Every little thing that gives you a little check mark, and I'm considering making a spreadsheet of all the things it doesn't. I'm not going to, because that'd be insane. But I did consider it, and maybe one day I'll be insane enough to do that. Yo, we leveled up again. I will say that, like, I think this crafting system is fine for what the dev intended playstyle is. Like, the devs put in a lot of, yeah, if you really like the game, you can do this for an extra 15 hours. You don't have to do what I'm doing right now. The game doesn't expect it of you, and there's really not a lot of benefit to it either. Like, there's no benefit to mastering these lower crafts, right? Was that auto or auto plus that I just got? I've not been paying attention at all to how many I've crafted. Okay, just auto. Like, sitting here, I'm so out of tune with what my hands are doing that I'm like, was that enough time or was it half the time to finish? But like, I think it's definitely like, they don't expect you to do this. This is like things they add to the game in case you really love it, right? Like, these are things that, like, I think this is a good game. Like, hands down. Good game, and, like, I think this is objectively a good game. And I think, it's a personally great game for me because it fits so many of the niches that make me happy. I love games where I can be the person who does everything. That makes me happy. That is the character I want to make. You know, I want to make the person who does everything, because that's what does it for me. I cannot express why, but that is what does it, right? That is my happy place, is doing everything. This is why Final Fantasy XIV is one of my favorite MMOs, and why my biggest thing that I ever want from Final Fantasy XIV is a bonus area where you can make a hotbar out of whatever jobs you have maxed. That's my ideal. I think Final Fantasy XIV will never have that, but if they ever announce that, that is built for me. That is my dream content. So I'm really into indie games that let me do that, right? So like, personally, I think this is a great game, but that's because it scratches like a very specific itch for me. Objectively, I think it's a good game. Like, I think this isn't level 5 at their best, but it's level 5 doing good. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not like the best I've ever seen them do. But like, they have some really good games, so it's kind of hard to see level 5 at their best. Like, that's a tall order. Like, that's a big ask, level 5 at their best. But this is definitely level 5 doing good, right? Like, this is definitely level, whoops, I took a picture again. I keep wanting that to be the menu button for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, go past all the bronze needles, get a, I don't like that I can't see on this screen what, oh, there we go. Okay, so I figured out how to see the information I actually want instead of looking at the stats. Stats are nice, but it's an annoying way to see if it's the best one. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Sometimes it's not that the interface is necessarily wrong. Sometimes it's that I just need to try pressing more buttons than I have thus far. Is there any way to like sell multiple things at once? No? Okay. I'm gonna Google that real quick. I'm hoping that there's a secret button I'm not aware of. Fantasy Life. Sell multiple tools at once. So either it is so obvious that no one has mentioned it, or you cannot. And I don't know which it is. I have no way of knowing which it is. Bummer. Oh well. Anyway, being a smith is not a great way to make money. Like, it's not like a terrible way to make money, but it's not a great way to make money. Like, compared to making like 10 things at a time with a profit of 20 dosh per item, this is a little weak, you know? I'm certainly not getting a 200 dosh bonus per craft. That's not happening. Whatever my profit margin is, it is lower than that for sure. Like, it is 100% lower than that. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not that, right? Like, it's something below that for sure. I'm digressing. I'm going everywhere. There is no particular topic that I'm sticking to. I'm just, what comes out is what comes out, you know? I have to go buy some animal claws apparently. Also probably more animal hide. These all take a lot. Yeah. I think I can make a bronze shield, but not bronze armor. I think that's pretty funny. We'll see. I assume this is better than my current armor, right? Like, surely that's better than even like the paladin starting armor. And importantly, everybody can wear it, which means I don't have to carry around like 14 different armor sets. Because I like actually seeing different armor sets, and because I feel like it, we're actually going to wear whatever the best armor set is. Like, whatever we currently have that's the best, that's what we're wearing. We are not we are not playing Fashion Souls. At least today. I'll play Fashion Souls a different time. I'll definitely be playing Fashion Souls in Fantasy Life I, but that's because that game has glamour. I think every game should have glamour. Every game. Glamour without restriction. I think glamour is such a cheap system to implement in a game, and it makes the visual playing experience of that game better and funnier. Like, if you're already going to make those armor sets visually visible, let me select which one I want to be visible. There's no reason not to do that, right? I'm even on the boat of like, if for MMOs, systems like the Final Fantasy XIV Armor and things like that, that should just apply to every piece of equipment in the game. It should just be a list of booleans of, have you obtained this piece of equipment before? You can now make it, you can now put it on whatever. I get why they don't do that. Like, there's good reasons not to. That's just a personal, like, aesthetic thing of, like, I sure would like to wear whatever I want whenever I want in video games. Let me wear whatever. Let me make myself happy by wearing what I feel like. You know? Do not limit me in what I choose to put on. Is what it comes down to. I think there's some things where too much player freedom is a bad thing. I think aesthetically what your character chooses to wear is just not one of those places, ever. Aesthetically, I think you're always better off giving players more choices, and designing your game such that you can have as many options as possible at all times, such that you're not ever restricting that choice, especially when it's super cheap to do, right? Like, glamour systems are super cheap from a development perspective, because you're not adding any outfits to the game, right? You're not adding any content. All you have to do is design your system itself slightly differently from the beginning. And even if you didn't do that from the beginning, as changes to make later on goes, that's generally going to be a relatively cheap change to any kind of game engine, or any type of game, right? Like, choosing which armor to show is going to be relatively cheap. And the only exception is when there's actual differences in hitboxes, which you usually only see with weapons. And even then, you don't always see this with weapons. Like, that's certainly not in every game. But often, the visuals and your hitboxes are supposed to line up, right? And weapons will be different sizes. But armor's generally always the same size, and even when it's not, it's usually not a you get hit kind of thing. Like, usually it doesn't actually change your hitbox, even when armor's bigger. Because then armor would be worse, right? If it made you get hit more. No one would want to wear it. So let's go get more animal hide. Let's go stow a bunch of our stuff. I'm going to look at the gear that we have for armor. What do these do other than... And none of these list a special effect. Does that mean they actually don't have one? Yeah, okay. It will properly show if there's an effect. Got it. Okay. I have confirmed the important information about how gear works in this game. Okay, so having confirmed that, I'm going to run over and slap all of my armor into the storage, all the unique armor for each job, because I don't know if you can get those back. If you can, I don't know how, and I don't want to have to learn how. So, hi Ubechi. Ubechi on screen. Ubechi the best. Okay, now we throw a bunch of stuff in our storage because I'm a pack rat when it comes to video games. I am so much more of a pack rat when it comes to video games than when it comes to real life. In real life, I'll be like, yeah, whatever, get rid of it. In video games, I'm like, but I can't get that item again. Now, that's probably because things are a lot less fundamentally irreplaceable in real life, to be fair. What? Are shields under armor? What are they under? Okay, yeah, they're under armor. Weird, but sure. Okay, then iron boots. We're not gonna have any proper armor for a lot of things after this, but that's fine. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. We'll keep the Castell shirt, so we have something. Look at how much of our inventory this is, though. There's all these different helmets and things. Store. And then I need to actually take off the blacksmith stuff I have on. Actually, I'll keep the low top shoes because I'm sure that anyone can wear these. Actually, no. I'll get rid of them. I'll be doing Taylor next, I think. Is Taylor next? Oh, licenses. What's next? Oh, nope. Carpenter is. Oh, well. I'll be doing Taylor soon enough. But we are now just in a shirt. That's all we need, really. Other armor is for chumps. We're not a chump. We don't need that. Throw it all in storage. It's unnecessary, is what it is. Store them items. No regrets. No hesitation. All we have is a shirt. All we need is a shirt. Also, I'd just like to say, after learning a little more about how Switch 2 apparently how the Switch 2 apparently works, I gotta say, Nintendo didn't do a great job with PR in this one. Also, I forgot to go eat Animal Fangs, which was the actual reason I left the workstation. Oops, my bad. Like, Nintendo did pretty bad on their PR for this one. They could have done a much better job. Which isn't to say that, like, everything that they did is, like, great and dandy. But, like, a lot of the things that are true about, the Switch 2, a lot of things that are being said about the Switch 2 are either not true, or are things that were already being done by other consoles, like, and they got lambasted for it. Like, there's definitely like they just took like the brunt of people's frustrations with parts of the industry that they weren't even involved with. Rough. I mean, I'm sorry for what happened to you. It was animal claws I needed, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I will say that going on strike is the right choice. You did make the right choice there, because, like, your friends should probably not be saying, "Here we go again," when you start talking about something. Although I suppose it depends what you choose to talk about. But yeah, as a general statement, that probably shouldn't be the response. All we have is a shirt. For managing inventory reasons, we are now only wearing a shirt. Don't worry about it. We'll get more clothes soon. In fact, it's time to start with the most important clothing. A hat. Okay, see you later. No. The dogs are out, and I think we make shoes last, actually. Who needs shoes anyway? Human feet are made to be shoes, if you think about it. Like, when you think about it, that is what they're made to be. What are feet but a living pair of shoes? Rough. I'm hitting you with the "that's rough, buddy." That's cold, but also pretty funny. I mean, you walked right into this one. Because I can imagine the kind of things that were said in response to that one. I mean, I feel like if you start the kitchen jokes, you can't be offended when someone continues them. Okay, actually, that's both funny and also, yeah, definitely an asshole move. That's taking the bit too far. I take it back. It is pretty funny though as a third party. Nice. So what you're saying is your friend has been talking to you and you've been ignoring him this whole time. Wow. Okay, have fun. You're welcome. I don't mean to hit these buttons. Ah! Also, I can find the things that I can make in my storage and get rid of them. I don't necessarily know what all I can make, so I'd rather not. Also, something I really prefer is, even if it's a little obnoxious, if you have a game where crafting is a big part of it, and you can craft gear, and you can't craft every piece of gear you can find, I think that that's a miss. Did I just describe every single game with crafting in it for the most part? Yes, and I don't regret it. I think if I'm this supposed master crafter who can make the best of the best things, if I cannot find something, look at it enough times and be like, yeah, I could make this, I feel like I'm not that good of a crafter, right? Like, if I can't reverse engineer things to be able to make them, I'm totally down for you can't get the recipe until you have the item. I think that's fine for found items, but it makes me happy if I can then craft it. And I think it's a miss to not have that be the case. I think that is a common misstep. Like, I think the world would be a better place if in every crafting game, or game where crafting is a big part of it, you could make every item I mean, is he wrong? Like, did he tell a lie? Whatever you say, Gee. Whatever you say. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so I got a CPAP machine today. And I slept for 4 hours and I woke up like feeling like the best I've been in a while. And this was after pulling an all-nighter. So, the CPAP machine seems to be working. So that's good. Well, it's kind of funny though, to be like, after pulling an all-nighter, I'm gonna get less than 4 hours of sleep and feel better than I've gotten getting 12. So there might be more streams now, who knows? We'll see what I end up deciding to spend the extra energy on. Because there's lots of things that I'd like to spend it on. And playing video games is but one of them. I'd also like to spend it on, you know, things that are slightly more productive. Technically, playing video games is slightly productive. I do get a little bit of money from this, but it's pretty negligible. You know, it's not a lot of money. It's just enough to exist. It's enough to matter, but not all that much. I got hit with the big yawn. I'm so confused with what my viewer count does. I just can't bring myself to believe that it's ever accurate. Like, there are some days where it just oscillates, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like people watching with bad connection, or if it does some weird thing where it doesn't count people's views at certain times, but like there's days where it'll oscillate like constantly between like 3 or 4 different numbers. Like right now it's oscillating constantly between 3, 4, and 5, and like I'll look at it later and I can see that not that many people were like tuning into my stream and then turning it off, right? Like I know that that's not happening, so like what's going on with it? Right? Like it's so weird. Not that it really matters, because like it doesn't, right? On a fundamental level, from the moment that I made affiliate, it didn't matter at all. Like it just doesn't, right? Because that's not, whatever that viewer count says is not really contributing to my money, especially since I don't run ads very often. And even if I did run ads like all of the time, what matters is how many ads are getting served, not whatever that number says. Like that metric just doesn't matter that much from a money-making perspective. But on the other hand, it's like, I feel like it's the most important metric from a, am I doing a good job as a streamer? You know? So it is kind of disappointing that I can't trust that it's accurate, because I'd really like to be able to look at that number and know for sure that that is how many people are currently getting my stream, right? That would make me happy to know that that was true, to know that I can trust that. Alas, I cannot, right? Which is a bummer. What are the question marks for, Gee? But yeah, I just Pat question mark. What does this mean? Are you asking if I want pats? Is that what this means? Because I want pants, that's why I'm making them right now. But it's I will go with yes, pats. I do generally appreciate pats. So I'll go with yes to pats. What do you mean where? On my head. That's where pats go. Where else are you patting people? Yee, where else are you patting people? I guess maybe you pat people on the shoulder. And I guess some people do back pats. I am now more confused. But yeah, pats definitely belong on the head. That is their default location, if not otherwise specified. I mean, the answer to that question is yes. I'm pretty sure. Just look at the emote. You're doing it right now. That's what the emote is. Who would we pet? Me. That's who we pet. I mean, I've already seen Ubechi multiple times this stream. I've pet Ubechi no less than 6 times already on stream. We're not even 50 minutes in. I mean, that sounds like a you problem. And for the record, I actually think it's more than 6 times. I'm just not confident in that. I actually think it was 7, but like, I'm not confident enough to say that with the utmost confidence. But when we went back to the room to switch all our gear, I pet Ubechi a few more times. And I started the stream by petting Ubechi, so. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, bum, bum. Wahoo. Another pair of pants perfectly made. How many more pairs of pants do I need to make for Auto Plus? Like sitting here like, was I just not paying attention and got it? No, okay. Oh, I need more dandelion cotton anyway. All right, my SP got refilled. Gotta sneak. Gotta get sneak up to level 15, and then I can never hit this button again. We're up to level 10, just 5 more levels. Level 15 is still such a random skill level to have as your max. I feel like if I was gonna make it low, I would go out of my way to make it 10. Right? Make it 10 or 20, like why is it 15? I guess they did make most of them 20 in the end, because all of the life specific skills get boosted up to 20 by the DLC. Just not the ones that aren't attached to a life. Does that include knives? I wonder. Okay, let's spend our stat points. Heck yeah. Got hit by the big yawn. Just go ahead and invest enough dosh to buy 20 more in there. Do 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 do. Okay. Back to crafting more pants. For we have not yet made enough pants. Okay. 1 pant. 2 pants. 3 pants. If only I was actually getting that many pants. Also, why was that dip only nice? What? Did I get too delayed by... Oh, I only need 1 more. Wait, are you telling me I had the perfect amount of dandelion cotton? No, it's okay. These other things also need dandelion cotton, so it's fine. Okay, time to make gauntlets, because that's what those are. Sometimes you can tell a little easier that this was made on a 3DS, you know? Whoops. That's not gonna, yeah. I have forged leather into being. So I think having leather be under this is something that I think is interesting. Having that be under blacksmithing, because that's accurate for the record. Like if you're talking about like old time crafters, if you're in a small village, it's pretty likely that your blacksmith was also crafting other things, right? But it's still kind of funny, right? It's also probably true that, you know, more people could just craft things. You know, it used to be a lot more true that people could craft basic things for themselves. But that has a lot to do with, like, failure points, right? If you live in a city and a leather worker gets sick, who cares? You've got plenty of them. If you live in a small town and your one leather worker gets sick, somebody else had better be able to do something. Especially if that leather worker then dies, right? Like, they get sick and die. Like, you need more than one, but at the same time, you probably don't have more leather work that needs doing than 1 or 2 people could do if you're in a relatively small village. This is what leads to skill diversification. This is one of the reasons why it's helpful within a community to have multiple people know how to do a thing. So if something happens to one of them, you're not just up shit creek. You know, or at least if you are, you've still got a paddle. I was checking my phone. Yo, we're already up to auto mode on the gauntlets. I'm just talking nonsense and we're getting great crafting progress done. I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest, but we're crafting for real. For real, for real. I just want you to absorb that we've done all this crafting and we've made pretty much no progress on the main plot of this game. Pretty much nothing, right? Like, pretty much on the main plot of this game, we have made 0 progress. We have found out about the Doomstone. We have found out about the MacGuffin, and that's as far as we got so far. Was we learned about the MacGuffin. That's it. That's all we've done. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be streaming today, because, like, I pulled an all-nighter and then I only slept 4 hours, so, like, I may just suddenly be tired and want to go to sleep. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Which is to say, none of them are good guesses because there is no knowing it. Got caught drinking water. It's that time of year where I want to play Final Fantasy 13 again. I'm never 100%ing that game again, though. Fuck that. But playing it again? Maybe. I can be convinced. You know, I can be convinced to play Final Fantasy 13 again. It wouldn't be... I think if I played and beat Final Fantasy 13 again, that would be my 9th, at least, time playing through the first half of the game. And at least my 5th finishing it. I don't remember exactly how many of those I actually finished it on, but, like, I've played the first half of the game more, and actually it's probably more than 9 times. I'm probably being generous to my past self there. But I've played that game so much because it's one of the games I play when I'm sick. Like when I feel ill, it and Earthbound are like the games that I play when I feel unwell. Now I haven't gotten sick much in the last few years, so I've actually played it noticeably less, but this is because I work from home and I'm a natural shut-in. So when do I go outside? I can't. It's hard to get sick if you're never exposed to germs because you never leave the house, right? I'm exposed to so many less germs than I was when I was like a student teaching, or getting a teaching degree in any respect, or getting a degree in any respect, for that matter. Even in my computer science classes, I'm sure I was exposed to significantly more germs that my immune system actually had to deal with than there are in my house. Not because my house is like fastidiously clean or all that, but because your immune system deals with its environment pretty well, right? It's introducing new things that gets you sick, usually. So like, because I'm not introducing anything new into my environment, I just haven't gotten sick hardly at all, outside of like actual like large health problems, you know, like the reason I need a CPAP machine or blood pressure medication, you know, bigger health problems that aren't like I have the flu and so I'm going to sit here and play video game feel better in 3 to 5 business days, right? Like yeah, I've not gotten a cold. I think I've gotten 1 cold in the last 4 years. Almost 5 years. And I think that's pretty funny. I've gotten sick in other ways, and like Lord knows that I have had issues with like energy, but like those are bigger health problems. And when I have issues with energy, I don't like seek out the same games to play that I do when I'm sick with a cold or the flu. When I'm sick with the cold or flu, I go for something specific, where I'm there for, talking hard. I'm there for something that is high energy, but isn't too hard to execute on. Because I have a lot of mental energy, but not a lot of, physical energy. But I also want something that's familiar because I don't feel good, right? I want that nostalgia at the same time. I do not feel good. Also, I think this is an interesting thing to realize. Some people seek out new experiences when they don't feel good. That's a foreign concept to me. I do not, in fact, seek out new experiences when I do not feel good. I seek out familiar experiences when I don't feel good, right? I'm looking to do the same thing that I did the last time I didn't feel good and then felt better afterwards. That's where I'm at, right? Oh, I ran out of materials. How many more times do I think I need to make this? Probably 2 or 3. Okay. That means that I have enough dandelion cotton. I just need some more animal hide. I think this is the last craft, so we're almost done with blacksmith. It only took another hour of gameplay to do the second half of blacksmith. The hard part about this is that like when I'm doing crafting, it's a constant talk. I can't shut up because I can't talk about what's going on in the game really. I can a little bit, but this is the wrong store. What am I doing? But I can't like spend all that much time talking about what's going on in the game, because what's going on in the game is that I craft the same thing 20 times and then I move on to the next recipe and do it again. That's what's going on in the game. It's not very interesting. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. I'm doing my best out here, but like that is not interesting gameplay, which means the interesting has to come from me, and that's hard. It's rough out here when the interesting has to come from me and I'm playing a game that I'm used to playing without really paying attention when I'm doing the not interesting bits. I will say it's a great time to run ads though. Not that I think there's anyone here to run ads to right now, but if there is, you're getting an ad. Congratulations. But purely to turn pre-roll off, and because like, what are you gonna miss? That I crafted this item for the 15th time? I actually think it's only like 10 crafts to max each of these out, but you know, exaggeration is an art form. It's not one I'm very good at though, but it is an art form. So there's that. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we did it. Smithing is done. Let's manage our inventory and report in. Okay, so first, equip a best leather hat. Equip a best leather jerkin. Equip a best leather leggings. And equip a best leather gauntlets. I pressed the wrong button. I was like, why did it back out? Because I hit the button that tells it to do that. That's why it backed out. Okay, now we gotta put the dogs away and put some shoes on. Part of me hates that I've taken up that lingo. You know, on the one hand, I'm like, haha, it's funny, lingo. But on the other, I'm like, I'm gonna look back on this and cringe one day. It's gonna happen. But anyway, we're an apprentice blacksmith now. We did it. Wahoo. Congratulations, us. Yo, we learned how to make apprentice level crafts. Starting to get used to swinging that hammer, eh? Nothing like a good sweat to pass the time. What you need, lad? Chat. Congrats, apprentice. What do you say? Are you ready to temper those skills even further? It's important to keep them razor sharp. The more you practice a craft, the better you'll get. It's only natural. Keep on going. If you keep making a particular item, soon you'll be able to make more than one of that item at a time. First, you have to make sure you have an adequate amount of materials to do so. Yeah, I got that already. All right, you're an apprentice. I'd say that calls for a little gift, wouldn't you? As an apprentice, it means you can start using some plains iron. If you get real good at making ingots, pretty soon you'll be able to forge a nifty little hammer. Then you can use that new hammer to make even niftier items and equipment. It's the circle of smithing. I actually really like that as the circle of smithing. That is how life should be. I make better thing, and then I get to make even better thing out of better thing. I just want to look, and yeah, okay. I remembered correctly that in order to upgrade to the next tier of weapons, I do in fact need to level up my skills to at least level 2. So that does mean that one of the things I'm going to do once I finish crafting is deliberately go grind my skills up to level 2. I'll probably do it while doing their combat stuff. But that is, in fact, a thing that I need to do. Okay. We now have pants. Congratulations, us. Okay, let's sell all the leather junk that we don't have equipped. Down the list we go. We'll keep the Castell shirt in case we want to actually wear something nicer. I will say, I think this is a mistake, and I'm glad some games have stopped making it. By which I mean the fact that it says male only. Let people wear whatever they want on their character. Oh, it doesn't let me sell things that I have equipped? Oh, thank goodness. That makes this so much easier. I can just autopilot, and it'll stop me from making any horrible mistakes. Anyway, as you can see, we made a bunch of money from being a blacksmith, too. Less money than we made as a chef, for sure. But also more than we also upgraded our gear. So when you factor that in, this is pretty nice still. When you factor in that we upgraded pretty much all of our gear. Our armor, if you're wondering why our armor is an upgrade, despite being the same tier of armor as we were wearing before, it's because it's all top quality now. It has that quality boost, which makes it better than the baseline. Yeah. My cough is slowly getting better. Gonna take a while for it to go away completely, though, it feels. Okay, time to go pet Ubechi. Also, I don't think Guy is here anymore. Guy missing us petting Ubechi again. You know, I'll be nice. I'll take a screenshot of petting Ubachi. There. I sent Key a screenshot of us petting Ubachi. So now they know what happened at least. Okay, there we go. Oh, you're here now? Sure, I'll pet Ubachi one more time. Once more. Five, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th one was the first one. just came for that. Or are you saying bye-bye to Ubachi? Gotta grind up my... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I need to... Gotta go this way. We continue to level Sneak. How's Sneak progressing to the next level? How bad is it past level 10? Not bad at all, actually. Outside of just needing to spend a lot of time because we have to wait for SP to regenerate, leveling up Sneak is not that bad. It's fine. Like, takes some time, but it's not nearly that bad. Okay, there we go. We've now emptied our SP bar once again. Now, change our life. This time we change over to Carpenter. And our gear no longer changes because we don't have the Carpenter gear in our inventory. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I gotta say, I do really like this hairstyle. It's definitely growing on me. I could actually probably make my hair into a hairstyle very similar to this. I got hit by the big yawn. My body said, yawn, yawn. It is time to yawn into the abyss. Okay, so we start by making logs. Gotta remember which one is which. Okay. Thankfully, the game was nice enough to give them back to back like that. So I now remember which one is which and where they are. Cool. Yo, got a bunch of extra oak beams. We can now craft it in bulk, which we're of course going to do. Because we need a metric ton of these. Why do I have so many opiums in my inventory? Where'd I get them? What? Did I buy that many opiums earlier? I don't think I bought that many. And I'll use them, so, you know, it's whatever. I'm sure I'll use them for something eventually. One day. I believe. Yo, there's 13 opiums. What should I monologue about next? I don't know. I think my energy is flagging. This one might be the last one that I do. I've already streamed for more than an hour. It's fine. I can sleep. And hopefully sleep for like 8 hours in a row. That'd be great. If sleeping 8 hours in a row, my new CPAP machine, I'll come back so energetic, I believe. Hopefully. I'm just hoping that I come back more energetic. I'm not like... It's fine if I don't like feel over the moon, but man, would I like it to improve. I feel like that's a sign of how bad it is, though. Like, I feel like if things are actually good, you're never like, man, if only things were a little better. When things are actually good, you're like, I can dream and hope for the future. Where some things are wrong, you're like, but if only I could feel anything. How many wood logs does it take to do this? Does it take 20 per set? It does. Well, I'm just gonna make single sets until it's done. You know, I don't feel like going shopping. So we're gonna... Also, can we talk about how bad whatever this is that we're hammering there is? Like, what is that? Whatever it is, it doesn't look like any piece of finished carpentry I've ever seen. Like, I'm not an expert on carpentry or anything, but I have seen a lot of videos of people doing carpentry, and I've never seen anything that looks remotely like whatever that is on that table. Like the thing that appears right here. Like, what is going on there? Those nails are not straight. Like, hitting those in that way is not gonna go great. It's not a good plan. It's actually distinctly a bad one. Don't do that. That is a bad plan. A bad plan. Easy. Sometimes I contemplate how even if I really give it my all, I will not ever do everything I wish to. You know, sometimes I realize that and I'm like, man, that's a bummer. And on other times I'm like, well, at least I'll never run out. You know? Like, I'll never run out of things that I want to do, but at the same time, I'll never finish everything I want to do. You know, it's a bittersweet realization. And the worst part is that, like, I'll never even finish, like, a category of what I want to do. Right? I'll never finish every game that I want to finish. Even if games stopped coming out right now, I think I'd probably die of old age before I actually finished every game that I wanted to finish. It's a long list, right? And in that list are some ridiculous time investments of things I'd like to do if I had infinite time. Like the goals that I would have if it was possible to have that much time, right? Like, I like the idea of getting every achievement in Final Fantasy 14. I think that sounds fun. I think I would actually enjoy the process. I do not have the time. I just don't. I achievement hunt in that game, but like the amount of hours you have to spend playing that game in order to do everything in it are just not achievable if you are playing other games, right? Like they're achievable if you only play that game. Like some guy did it actually. And so at least one person has done it, probably more by now because that was like 2 years ago. I'll keep crafting because I feel the energy coming back again, so I'll keep going for now. Okay, we need bluestone for that. We have enough straw thread. Okay, we need more straw thread. We need more bronze ingots. Need more animal hide. And more dandelion cotton. A lot more dandelion cotton. And elder oak logs, but we'll worry about those later. Okay, blue crystal is what we need for the weapons. Blue crystal, bronze ingot, animal hide, and dandelion cotton will get us through for a while. I don't actually know who has the blue crystal. I'm gonna assume that it's I'm gonna assume that it's over here at the gems. But like what I was saying, and to continue what I was saying about like I'll never finish everything I want to do. Like there's a lot of other things that I want to do too. 11 should be enough. Like there's a lot of other random things that I'm like, yeah, I really want to do that. Will I ever actually? Like for example, I read a lot of books, right? I read a lot of fantasy, but really I only ever read things that are on Wuxia World because that's all I have time for, right? Like I read a lot of things on there, but there's more on Wuxia World alone that is worth reading than I have time to finish with the amount of time I spend reading. And I'm a fast reader. Like, it's just there's more content than I could ever have enough time for, right? The same is true of YouTube, of TV shows, of movies. All of them individually. Well, why did I go to blacksmithing? Whoops. Just autopiloted over to the left. That's not the right crafting station. But yeah, like every single thing that I could want to do, there's just too much of in the world. I will never, ever finish everything I want to do of anything. And I feel like this is generally true of everyone. All you can do is prioritize what things are most important to you to do, because you're just not going to finish it all. And I'm not sure this is necessarily a bad thing. I want to be clear. Like I said, it's definitely preferable to living in a world where things are done already. And these are all like just for fun things. There's lots of things in the world that are worth doing that are not for fun, right? Like I think anything you're doing where you're improving the world, absolutely worth doing. And even in that category, you will never finish it. It just won't happen, unfortunately. In our lifetime, the world is not close enough to as good as it can get for us to ever reach it, right? And that's assuming that everyone actually agreed on which direction we should be going, which I think it's pretty clear they don't. Like even just on like making sure that everyone has human rights and that no one's human rights are being violated, even on that, like what I feel like should just be an easy issue to to deal with logically, you're still never going to fix it all in your lifetime, right? Millions of people are working on that problem, and they're not successfully fixing it all in their lifetime. So like even just on like super important things to do, like things you could dedicate your life to, there's too much to do. You will never finish it all. And I think that makes life a terrible video game, because where are they expecting me to find the time to finish all of this before I reach the credits screen? How rude. I'm mostly joking, but it is a real thing, right? Like, if you want to do everything or mostly everything or all of these things, you're just not gonna make it. You have to prioritize what's most important to dedicate your life to and do your best. And you have to do it without burning out. That's the other hard part. Is the main reason you can't spend your entire life just working on improving the world is because you would burn out if you did. We know this. This is common experience. If you don't take breaks, you just burn out, and then you're no help to anyone. And you have to be mindful of what your capacity is and not feel guilty if your capacity is less than other people's, because not everyone's capacity is the same. And I think that's fine, right? You don't have to have the same capacity as everybody else. Everybody has different capacity, and that is okay. You just have to not blame yourself or other people for what their capacity is. You know? Like, I think so long as someone is helping the world be a better place in the ways that they can, I think that's as good as we can expect from anyone. It's great if people go above and beyond that. But I don't think it's fair to expect that of people, because if everyone was just making the world around them a slightly better place, the world wouldn't be bad, you know, right? Like the problem is the people who are making the world a worse place, right? Like, they are the actual problem, right? Like, you know, like, it's never the people who just aren't making it better enough, you know? As long as you're a positive influence on the world, you're okay you're good in my book. Why didn't I have pants earlier? Because I also, not having pants is definitely positive. Excuse you. I didn't have pants because I only wanted to make one trip back to the room to drop old equipment off. So I dropped off the things we were wearing too. Because we had a bunch of inventory space. Every life got its own like unique gear, right, when we first equipped it. And each of those takes up inventory space. So I got rid of them. You're saying you're EP? Got caught drinking water again. I really should stop drinking water during that animation. But then when would I hydrate? Our skill as a carpenter isn't high enough. We do not consistently get grades. How disappointing. We're such a failure. You are T. He. But if you want to, you should make tea. Be the change you want to see in the world. You know, that's fair, actually. I understand. Sometimes you want something, but it is too much effort. Yo, I tried this bundt cake place for my birthday. They have all these different kinds of bundt cakes, and you can get like little cupcake sized bundt cakes with frosting on them called Bunt-Teenies. It's great. I loved it. They were so good. And you know that they were really good when it's a pastry that I like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a great pastry. If you haven't had tea in a while, then the next time you feel like making the effort, you should spoil yourself. What do you mean, no? Only the best pastries are enjoyed by me. It's been a have lots of good sweets week for me. I've had too many sweets to celebrate my birthday. I regret nothing, but I have had too many sweets. I think it does, actually. I do think it's really funny. Didn't say anything. Gee, the stream was called birthday stream. What do you want from me? And last I checked, you knew when my birthday was. Honestly, I didn't even register that you didn't say happy birthday to me. I didn't even think about it. Mostly because, like, I didn't really care. Like, I don't super care about my birthday in the first place. Especially not my 30th. Definitely didn't care about that one. You know? Which is what it was, for the record. And yeah, it's been 1 year. Excuse you. Yeah, I know. I'm ancient now. I've crossed the line. I've crossed the line into ancient territory. I can already feel my bones turning to dust. My joints are actively disappearing as we speak. It's very sad. Hey, you don't have to come after me like this, Gee. You're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. Not here right now. I'm sorry, I bet she's not here. Can I take a message? Go get more straw thread. Straw thread, straw thread. Show me the straw thread. Give me the straw thread. I mean, I feel like you don't have to try that hard to topic change around me. I will topic change on my own if you give me long enough. Give me a second, I'll find a whole new topic all on my own. Like, I've got this. Don't worry. Yo, squirrels are very cute. So, I live in a neighborhood where I've had squirrels around like my whole life, and they are adorable. I don't recommend really getting close to one unless you're good with animals, but they are very cute. So are raccoons, for the record. Raccoons are very cute, but do not feed them. That's a mistake. but they are very cute. If you do feed them, understand that you are now the owner of all the raccoons. You are now the known source of food. Good luck with that. Okay, so here's a fun fact about me. I once had to bury a squirrel. So to explain that sentence, I didn't get baited. I saw the bait and jumped right in. That's different. So to explain the sentence of I've buried a squirrel before, so I had a mutt that looked like an Australian Shepherd named Sam, in like high school to early college. He was adorable and great and awesome in general. But he always liked chasing squirrels, and squirrels would like run along our fence to get around our yard, right? So while they were going around our fence, Sam would chase them, right? And I don't actually know what happened to this squirrel, because as far as I could tell, it was not hurt in any way. But Sam got a squirrel, and the squirrel was no longer alive. Like, there was no, like, he didn't bite it. Like, the best I can tell is that he made that squirrel have a heart attack, or he rolled over on it. That was my best guesses for what happened to the squirrel, because I could not discern any like clear damage that was done, but that squirrel wasn't alive anymore. My personal headcanon is that he in fact rolled over on the squirrel. He really liked rolling around in the backyard. So that's my personal headcanon. But yeah, so that's the time I had to bury a squirrel. Oops, I went over too far. No, Sam was actually quite proud of himself. How do you think I found the squirrel? Sam showed it to me. He was like, look, I did it. I caught dinner. I'm the best. Still scarred. I don't think he was. Nah, he was proud of that. Not quite as proud as a cat who like drops it right in front of you, but he was proud of it. There was no shame. There was zero shame in that one. Only pride. Yes. Didn't I tell you? Did I never tell you that? I am an animal whisperer. That's just a true statement. 100%. Animal whisperer Mar. That's how I know Veggie likes me the best. Aw yeah, another really good oak rod. That's how I know the fish in this game want to be eaten. That's why I don't feel bad about catching them. Because they're volunteering. That's how it works in this game. They're volunteering to be eaten, so I don't gotta feel bad about it at all. One of these days, I'm actually gonna finish my playthroughs of Dark Cloud 2. It'll happen, I swear. One day. Sure. 3. Which would be an absolutely horrible idea for you. Because Lord knows that you get allergic to like everything. But yeah, 3 is my guess. You look at something wrong and you get an allergic reaction. Your body's out here going, what if I could be allergic to more things? Darn, I was almost right. And also, no, if your roommate brought in 2 cats, and I guessed 2, that would have counted. Whether they're your cats or not, they're living with you, it counts. But I did lose because I guessed 3, so you do win. Congratulations, you get to request 1 small thing from me. And when that's a bummer because you love watermelon. But also, how? You've eaten watermelon the entire time I've known you, and I don't think you've really talked about getting sick after eating it. You have the same reaction? Okay, I somehow missed that. Okay, no, you've talked about getting sick from eating too much watermelon. That's a different thing. You've talked about getting an upset tummy because you've eaten like a metric ton of watermelon. That's different. But also that is a that's a real bummer since that's like your favorite food. But yeah, that sucks that you've started reacting to it the same way you react to pineapple. So what you're saying is that I was right. Your body really was out here going, but I could be allergic to more things. Yeah, I'm sure if you eat a different watermelon, it'll be different. I mean, it probably is worth trying just to see, but like, I wouldn't rate your chances as high of not reacting to the next watermelon you eat. It's still worth trying. Lord knows if one of my favorite foods I suddenly started having an allergic reaction to, I'd test twice, unless the first one was like deadly, a level of allergic reaction. Like if one day I had an allergic reaction, a mild allergic reaction to cheese, you bet I'm trying that again before I give up. I'm trying different types of cheeses too, even like. How am I doing on this craft? I haven't been paying attention to how many I've made. Okay, we're almost there. Me just like completely on autopilot. Yeah, you can have all kinds of allergies. The human, what's the word I'm looking for? The human immune system is can be a terrible thing sometimes and do weird things. Well, I'm glad your friend told you to stop. Also, John, I did not know that things can give you migraines that you're otherwise fine with. I believe it because like human interactions with various things be weird for sure, but that's also so random. I'm very curious what the mechanism is that would cause that in the body. Oh, that sucks. Oh, the drinking's overrated, but like it still sucks that like the smell of alcohol, like it still sucks that like being around alcohol might have that effect on you. Yo, that is horrible. Finding that out could not have been fun. Ugh. Like, that really sucks. I think it's always kind of funny how like when people are like being drunk is so great, and I'm like, I did not like the feeling at all. You know, honestly, fair, John. I too ignored a lot of health problems when I didn't have health care. Like, yeah. There's a reason I'm only actually going to the doctor this year now that I have better health care. Now that I can actually afford it and have good health care. Finally actually seeing a doctor. My daily wisdom. For John. Okay, my daily wisdom is, don't have your tendons split from your bones. No. Let's go with trust your body and what it says it doesn't want. I should really look up wisdom quotes. No. It's more fun if I make them up on the spot. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I have pretty shitty dental too. But thankfully, I have good teeth genetics, so far it hasn't caused me problems. The way I know I have really good teeth genetics is because when I was a kid, there was like a period of several years where I just would not go to the dentist. They could not make me. And like I was a little devil as a child, by the way. But like, so not only was I like refusing to go to the dentist, but I was also like horrible about brushing my teeth. Not a single cavity. And this was like a period of 7 years when I finally went back to the dentist as like as when I was like 15 or something. If I did not have good dental genetics, I fear I would be in the same boat as John. I have lucked out on that part of my health. If only the rest of my body wasn't falling apart at the seams. My parents gave me one good health section of my body. And it was my teeth. Yeah, they're hitting you with that you won't die. Get some dentures. Oh, that sucks. I think it's so weird how people consider dental health care optional. Because, like, if you can, like, one of the most dangerous places you can get an infection is your mouth. And it's also one of the more common. You know, but, like, it's super dangerous because it's near your brain. And, you know, and if an infection spreads to your brain, you're pretty fucked at that point. Like, that's kind of it. Just casually continuing to craft. Yo, that's right, I forgot we get to make furniture! And that means that we can actually put furniture in our room and shit. You know, fair. Once we're a tailor, we can actually make better stuff, so bear with it. Time to make some crates. Unfortunately, they're made out of wood, not cardboard, so we can't use these boxes to disguise ourselves. I'm sorry, you have to deal with other armor for longer. Accidentally hit. Choose a craft. Why is make the same craft not the top option? I want it to be the top option so badly. Let me grind easier, devs. I'm sorry, Iki. You're just gonna have to deal. Okay, you know what's funny? Later, I'm not gonna be able to make items in bulk once I can't buy them. Because at that point, I'll actually care about getting the multi-craft. You know, like when I do good on a craft that doesn't have quality, like the oak beams and the ingots and things like that, I can craft multiple of them if I do well on the craft instead of anything else. And like, I'm not gonna want to craft like in bulk because I'll have to go mine more if I'm not making it one at a time. Because the multi-craft bonus isn't based on how many you're crafting. Like if you craft one item, the multi-craft bonus can be 1 to 3. If you craft 10 items, the multi-craft bonus is still only 1 to 3. You know what? Fair. Actually, you're so right. I should just mine more. That's definitely the best solution to this problem. The actual answer is I'll do whichever one has lower skill levels at the time, you know? If mining is a lower skill level, I'll do the option that means I have to mine more. If it doesn't, then I'll do the option that means I don't have to do that. I really want to know what I have to do to get battle pets. Because it's not a bliss thing, it must be progressing the story or something. But, you know, we're too busy crafting for that, so, oh well. Yo, level 18? Heck yeah. We're so over-leveled for our place in the story. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to. Cookie's an attack dog. Cookie wants some meat. He's gonna come eat things. You just wanted to see Ubechi more. I wonder, can I take multiple pets into battle? I've never tried. So I don't know if you can or not. It's never come up. I'm in that crafting flow. Oops, I don't know why I went over there. I'm in that crafting flow, I say, as I make a big mistake. What is the one thing you care about Sweet Cookie? Is it that Sweet Cookie has not tasted blood before? Because I hate to break it to you, but I feed that dog meat. Like, it gets fed chicken every night. On a related note, there's not very many purple birds named Ubechi in town anymore. I forgot to actually mark this as complete. There we go. On to the next piece of... Oh, I hit Meek again. Oops. I just really wanted an extra crate, I guess. But not... Gosh darn it. Moved more than I meant to. Yeah, but I'm just saying, where do you think all that meat's going? It's going to Cookie. Cookie is watching us cook and feed Ubechi to him every day. Again, you just want to see Ubechi. You're out here rationalizing your decision to bring Ubechi. There's so much furniture. We're gonna do it. We're gonna master every single craft. I don't care. I'm determined. And I swear to God, if Retro Achievements comes out with achievements for 3DS, including this game anytime soon, I'm going to cry. No. Cookie is not sweet and innocent. Cookie has zero innocence. Is sweet though, that's true. But no innocence. Cookie's the one who files our taxes. You know? Like, Cookie's the one at home making the household run. You think the butterfly does all that? You think Ubechi does? Ubechi doesn't have anything to grab things with that's not her feet. Also, John is correct. Cookie should learn to defend himself, you know, just in case. He can't defend the house if he's not strong. And in order to be strong, he has to come out with us. Like, that's just how it works. Wahoo. Cookie will outlive us. Cookie is immortal. You really be out here going, we disagree on one thing, no longer getting along, enemies now. I wasn't actually reading that. Was that auto or auto plus mode? I wasn't paying attention. I think it was just auto mode, but okay. Well, was not confident in my knowledge of how many I'd made. I think this is a reasonable minds can differ on this. Excuse you, Cookie is not your child too. You think just because you named a child that it's yours? That is untrue. You wanted Ubechi in the divorce. You weren't fighting for Cookie at all. Although I do think that I said I'd give you Cookie in the divorce. That's true. That was because you didn't want Cookie and I was being spiteful. Also, joke's on you. You don't play this game, so you don't get anyone in the divorce, actually. You don't have a character with which to take care of them. How could you take them? You know? Like, it really is just that simple. There's no legal document for that. You can't fool me. I'm not agreeing to the existence of this legal document. You know, John's so right. Especially the having a nicer outfit part. So if I ever did give up custody of Cookie or Ubechi, it would be to the person with the nicest outfit. That's true. And it has to be the nicest outfit in game, as judged by a panel of 13 judges who belong to Organization 13. Don't worry, by the time you get him, Cookie will be the toughest war dog. I'll make sure of it. I do think it's funny that I only get around to games. Hey, wait. How could you do this to me? Not making emotes of Ubechi? You monster. Those were 4 Ubechis, so we could remember Ubechi even after we finish this game. So that way she could continue to be with us. And do you want to make an emote of Ubechi? You want to post Pat and then Ubechi? You know you do. I don't believe you. I don't believe you're not gonna make a drawing of Pat and Ubechi. You know, how about this? I will simply not give up Ubechi or Cookie to anyone. They're just my pets forever. Carpenter's Choice complete. What was that even for? I continue the grind. So much grinding. You can only sue for custody if you live in the kingdom, sorry. They're under the jurisdiction of Riveria, and so unless you have residency, the Riverian courts don't care. So, bummer. In short. Nah, I do. How about this? I'll clone Ubechi and give you your own. No. Well, I'm not giving Ubechi up. The purple bird has grown on me. The purple bird is my friend now. That's my child. I'm not giving Ubechi or Cookie up to anyone. Those are my children. R is a strong word. And just because you named someone doesn't mean that they're your child. They sometimes grandparents offer name suggestions. So there's that. Aunts and uncles too offer name suggestions. What's the gender neutral term for Aunt or uncle. Has someone invented one in English yet? Because I don't think there's a native word for that. What child support are you paying? Ignore your subscription. Doesn't count. Another wooden chair crafted. Another furniture piece completed. I'm just saying, I'm out here, I'm working myself to the bone. I need more Castile blooms. So let me go get 5 of those. I'm out here working myself to the bone to provide for Ubechi and Cookie, and you're out here like saying you deserve them. I don't see you being a carpenter and making tens of thousands of dosh just to pay for their food. You know? Like I don't see you doing any of that. I don't see you saving up to buy them a better home. You know? So I do. I give them food and lots of pets every day. That is just an undeniably true statement. They sleep in the bed with me. Like, we're a close little family. Just the 3 of us. Me, Ubechi, and Cookie. Okay, which one of these is most likely to have a flower? Probably this guy. He sells the weirdest things. Yep, there it is. Getting struck down by yawns, but I don't want to stop crafting. I'm being possessed by the crafting bug. Can't stop crafting. Must craft table. I need something to monologue about again. What should I monologue about next? Preferably something that'll keep me awake. Couldn't tell you what that is, though. Never punished for drinking water in that opening animation. Never. Always rewarded, in fact. Ignore how it punishes me, like, every time I do that, actually. I have to say, the amount of like subscriptions that you need as a streamer to like stream full time off of subscriptions alone is ridiculous. It's bonkers. This is just the first random thought that popped into my head. Because if you make an average of $2 off of every subscription, which is pretty good for the record, because subscriptions in other countries are going to be worth less if you live in America, because I think ours is like the most expensive subscription, and you get a bit less than $250 for that. Twitch Primes are $225. You know, if you make that and you want to like provide for yourself. Like, let's say you want to make like 30,000 a year, which is like, you know, that's a job that's not great, but you can survive off of it, right? That's you're not doing well, but you're alive. Kind of job. That's you're not like, you're not poor enough that you're skipping meals, but you're still pretty poor at 30,000 a year. 30,000 divided by 12 is going to be what, how much a month? Calculator, come to me. I could probably do this in my head faster than I could have gotten a calculator out, but I'm tired, so I was not about to try and do math in my head. So that's 2,500 a month. Even if we're optimistic and we assume that with ads that you're making up for the extra amount, such that every subscription is $250, that's 1,250 subscribers. That's a wildly high amount of subscribers. Like, don't get me wrong, there's lots of streamers who have more subscribers than that, but at 1,250, I'm pretty sure that you're in the top 1% of streamers at that many subscribers. Of course, this is assuming that all of your subscribers are tier 1 subscribers, you know, that no one's paying you even more. But that is like a thing to think about, is like, the only people who can afford to do streaming full time off of just streaming, that's how many subscribers you have to have. Now in reality, the way streamers actually make their money is by doing a variety of different revenue sources, right? Like, that's why they do sponsorships and all these other things, right? Like, that's how they actually make going full time, is by having sponsorships, by being on a bunch of different platforms and getting ad revenue from all of those, stuff like that. But that is like such a thing to think about, to be like, wow, just to make enough to be like not doing terribly, to be not starving, you know, to be not poor, you have to have well over 1,000 subscribers. I think that's such a weird thing to think about, because like, for people who do this, like 100 subscribers feels like a lot. Like, that's a lot, right? It's not like mega streamer or anything, obviously. It's not even what I would consider like a large streamer, but that's probably where I'd consider like mid-sized streamer to start, is has more than 100 subscribers, and they're not even paying themselves minimum wage if they're doing it full time at that level off of subscribers alone. You know, like, even with subscribers plus ads, they're probably not paying themselves minimum wage, and that explains why they have to do all those other things, right? Like, yeah, of course they do. Like, you need, if you want to not do sponsorships, you'd probably need, if you want to not do sponsorships and you don't make long form video content, you would need, what? Like, you would need 1,250 subscribers to like make it a job, to make it an actual job you could do, right? Like, you know, to make it better than working for whatever minimum wage is in your area. At that point, like, you're And of course, this all depends on where you live, right? If you manage to stream from a super low cost of living area, then great. But I've never been to a really low cost of living area that had good internet, except for when I lived in a college town. You know, like everywhere else I've ever been that is low cost of living, the internet's been finicky at best. And this is a job you can't do without good internet, right? Like, it's just not an option. You are quite literally entirely reliant on it. Yeah, I just think it's super interesting to actually like delve more into how and where streamers make their money, because it's really easy to be like to see the like really big streamers and like, you know, that like someone with a million followers on any platform, they're making a lot of money, right? Like they're doing well for themselves for sure. But it's really interesting looking at how like medium-sized creators make their money, especially if they have content that costs money to produce. Like for example, like something I think is pretty common is for streamers to hire video editors to make highlight videos for them, right? This is pretty common, but it now means you need to be making enough off of those highlight videos to pay someone to make those highlight videos, and then to like make more money than that, right? It has to be worth it for both you and the person making the highlight videos at the end of the day, to do that. Like you are employing another person, probably not full-time unless you're like a big time streamer or someone who's actually streaming like well over full-time and really cares about making a lot of different highlight videos. But that is like, it's something I thought about, like how much money would I need to be making in order for highlight videos to be something worth doing, because it's the kind of content I prefer is highlight videos and other shorter form content than this. But I'm like, the amount of money I need to be making or the amount of investment I need to be willing to put in like before I made money is intense. It's not small. And like, I personally have no confidence that I will ever like be a streamer of any considerable size. Like the attitude I've held towards streaming my whole time doing it is I'm happy with this if it ever successfully pays for me to game. That's the amount of money I want to make from this. If it pays for me to like have my Final Fantasy XIV subscription and for me to buy games every month, I'm happy, right? That's all I really ever expect this to do. But that's also just because I don't expect me to be good enough at it. That's a confidence thing. So like, you know, part of that is just me not wanting to be overconfident, and also not wanting to have my hopes dashed because it doesn't go as well as I hoped, right? Well, how am I doing on this craft? How many times have I made it? Oh, just one more. I've made it 9 times. But yeah, it's interesting to think about because it's one of those things where like, if you're in online gaming culture, chances are that you in some way participate in the system that pays streamers, right? Through some mechanism somewhere, right? You know, the chances are that you watch some kind of content at some point. Okay, I'm looking at the silly thing on Discord. What is this? Oh, I see. I see. Gengar is a great Pokemon, it's true. Gengar is not my favorite Pokemon, but I will acknowledge that Gengar is a great Pokemon. That's good. That's, you know, I just realized I don't actually know what my favorite Pokemon is. I've never really thought about it. Okay, I need 7 pine nuts, and I need some more oak beams. Oh, and I need to spend my skill points rather than just letting them sit there doing a whole lot of nothing. We're almost at 11 all. Almost there. Really rising up in the world. Okay, to do that, these on the fly. Okay, that's a good oak axe. That's a good oak rod. Was there another tool or was that it? There was a saw. Oh, I could have improved my carpentry. Oops. I think that was the last tool that I could do so far, yeah. Didn't make any armor, and then the rest is all furniture. Okay. I recommend a blankie. That's what I use when I'm cold, personally. I use the power of a blankie. It is a mighty tool. None can withstand the power of Blanky Boo. I'm almost done managing my tools. Just gotta sell all my extra oak saws. There sure are a lot of extra oak saws in this pile. I hate that I have to sell these one at a time. Save me, please. Why isn't there a sell all of this button or a way to easily toggle them or something? I'd take a lot of options, to be honest. Like there's a lot of ways we could do this. Selling one item at a time is just painful. Why? Why am I being hurt like this by the game? Oak wands be expensive. It's because the blue crystal in them is worth like 1,000, but you know. Oak wands be expensive. Look at all of our profit. We're making so much money. Okay, I don't want to keep any of the basic wooden furniture. I can always remake it later if I decide if I want it, so I'm just gonna sell all of it. We'll be making better furniture later. You know? You should make cookies. Cookies are yummy. Your cookies are delicious and you really like them. Give in to the darkness in your heart and make the cookies that you deserve. I don't know why the cookies are darkness in your heart now, but they are. Sorry. I don't make the rules. I just describe them. So much stuff to get rid of. We're so filthy rich now, though. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? We have more than 100,000 Dosh. We're making bank. Gonna get a good home for our pets. Okay, what did I actually come out here for? I know I wanted more oak beams, but there was something else. There's something more immediate than oak beams. Oh yeah, pine nuts, that's what it was. I needed, I'll just get 10, it's easier. Get 90 more oak beams. And get 70 more, and that should be enough. Okay, on to the next bout of crafting. We still have both Tailor and Alchemist to do after this. But we're more than halfway through getting all of the crafting mastered for Apprentice. Or for, not Apprentice, for Fledgling. We are more than halfway through mastering all Fledgling crafts. And that's good progress. Heck yeah. Easy game, easy life. Wooden cabinet complete. Just gotta make 9 more of them. Heck yeah. Whenever I finish Carpenter, I think I will be done for the day. Well, I kind of want to stream more. I am losing the plot Awakeness-wise. So, unfortunately, I will have to do the sleeping. Because I'm losing it over here. But I will at least finish out Carpenter. So that way we only have 2 crafters left next time. It'll have taken a while, but we'll have gotten all of the crafters up to Apprentice. And then we'll just have to do it again for Apprentice level. We'll do some plot first, though. Oh, whoops. I went over too many. You're going to sleep? Okay, bye-bye. What happened to making cookies? That was a quick transition. But sure, bye. Would you like to see Ubechi before you go? Okay, after I do this craft, I will go see Ubechi real quick. I will go say hello to the wonderful bird. Yo, Ubechi's friendship rose! Heck yeah. Ubechi's friendship rose again. Life is good. Look how much Ubechi likes us patting her. Life is great. Sometimes all you need is a cute pet to pat on the head. Sure. I'll let you have the credit for this one. Don't talk to Butterfly, I'm talking to Cookie. Go away, Butterfly. Nobody loves you, Butterfly. I'm too busy loving Ubechi and Cookie to love you. Anyway, there we go. We have successfully pet Ubechi and Cookie much. I wish I could refute you by saying you never asked about the butterfly, but you did in fact ask why the butterfly is not following us around last stream. So you have in fact showed concern for the butterfly and what they're up to. So alas, I cannot just offhandedly say that you definitely are not caring about the butterfly. True. Oops. I need to move my mic. It's blocking one of those. Huh, I didn't know that's how that worked. I've learned something new about that interaction. I guess it makes sense though. That if you don't hold the button, it just kind of reverts. Yo, I am made of Sleepy for sure. For real, I am EP. I am but an EP leaf on the wind. Being pulled from Sleepy to EP. From dream to dream, never to wake. But on the other hand, I get to make cabinets, so it's not that bad. Humans are weird. And the context for that one, for that comment is like, it is hard for me to tell, like legitimately hard for me to tell internally if I actually think I'd be unhappy doing full-time content creation, or if that's like, or if that thought is like a self-protection of my believing that I won't be able to, so it's easier for me to believe it wouldn't make me happy. And I can't tell which one it is. It could be either. I have no way of knowing. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure I ever will know. Unless I actually, like, get lucky enough to do full-time content creation for a while. But, like, outside of that, I don't know that I'll ever know whether it would make me happy or not. For sure, or if I just believe that because I don't think I'll actually make it, you know, who knows. I do want to get more into making things, so that'll probably happen as I adjust to having more energy. I will probably be spending some of that energy making things, and I'll talk about them on stream, like, you know. As for the kinds of things that I'll be making, most likely music. Well, music, writing, and small little games. Like, the kind of things that would come out of a game jam kind of stuff, where it's just, I had a small little idea and I wanted to make it, so I spent a couple of weeks throwing it together as one person. And here it is. You know, just fun little things like that. I really like the process of planning and making things. And the only reason I don't do it more is just because the way my health has been since like at least 2021, and honestly the sleep problems have been constant. I would love to make more things with more energy. I can do code just fine. My main issue is that the only kind of visuals I'm good at all, like the only kind of visuals I can do at all, is 3D modeling. And that shit takes forever. You're not making something that looks good quick with 3D modeling. And it's the only one of those things I'm good at. That's another thing that I might make because I've been wanting to make it. And that's a VTuber for myself. That's a thing that I might make. Because I'd like to have more than just a PNG tuber. But like, I do not have the money to... Okay, that's not true. I'm not willing to spend the money on making a VTuber. Because, well, I don't want to put money into this I'm not getting back out of streaming. Because it's really easy to fall into that slippery slope, right? And because, like, I am much better off, yeah, I haven't looked at the free options in a while, so I might look at that, but I also just like 3D modeling. It is something I genuinely enjoy doing. It's just unfortunate that 3D modeling is like so involved. Like even if you're 3D modeling all day every day, you're probably still not making something that looks good without a significant time investment, right? Even if you're like living and breathing that, it still is a decently large time investment to make anything through 3D modeling that looks good. But yeah, if I have more energy to brush up on 3D modeling again, I did really like doing that. So one of the first things might actually just be a VTuber. Oh, that makes complete sense to me. Why would you ever do those by hand again? Like, unless you're gonna actually make someone's hands different, and even then I would still start with the preset, right? And then just edit it. Unless you were making something that's not a human hand. Human hands and feet are so hard. I would not be redoing that again. You know? Like, I would totally do that. That makes complete sense. I need more woven straw fabric. But yeah, I'm hopeful that my health will continue to improve and I will continue to have more energy and feel like doing more things. And if it does, there'll be more stuff on here. I think my skills with 3D modeling are slightly above average, but I enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. I don't think that the things I make will be like that impressive, but since I enjoy doing it, I'm much more inclined to make it myself. That's also just how I am about everything, right? Like, as soon as I enjoy something, I'm like, oh, I'm doing that manually now. I'm doing that myself because I enjoy doing it. I'm the same way in games. Like, in games, I will almost never use the player market if I actually like the crafting system. If I like crafting and gathering things in a game, I will almost never use the player market in an MMO. I only use that when I don't feel like playing that part of the game. But in general, like if it's at all fun for me to play the game, or that aspect of the game, I'll just go do it myself. Because I'm like, I'm having fun. Is it better for my goals to just have it generated? Yeah. Or like buy it from the player market? Yeah. Am I going to? No. No. And I'm like that about real life things too. If I like doing something, I will not pay someone else to do it. Which leads to a happier life, but it does lead to a to-do list that is too long for the amount of energy that I have. Like, makes me personally happier, but man, do I not have time for that. And then I'll get hit by the executive dysfunction anyway and spend 4 hours on TikTok. Just scrolling. Executive dysfunction, I feel like, has been worse lately, but I feel like this is because I've been working full time. You know, so I'm just experiencing the blowback from that. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever figure that out, but good luck. The only way I've found to get around it, and this doesn't even get rid of all executive dysfunction, it just helps with some of it. It helps with the kind that's driven by procrastination, right? And that is and this is a very unrealistic fix, which is have a job that's super varied and not time sensitive. I've just described like 0.01% of jobs. My current job is the only job I have that's even remotely like that. And it's not even that much like that. It's just enough like it that I can make it work better. Right? And like, so true. But yeah, having a job that's both varied and non-urgent is like, you're talking about realistically content creation, or being a contractor on floating jobs, like on like a floating job board. And they have to be relatively short jobs too, like piecemeal ones, and that's it. That's really the only kinds of jobs there are, and that is like so few jobs. Oh, and not just content creation, but creation of crafting too, like crafts would also work. But all of those you have to get super lucky with both content creation and like selling crafts online to turn that into a full-time job, right? Like you have to be insanely lucky. Like that's like the 1% of the 1% get to turn either of those into doing that. Oh yeah, that's always super nice when your task is menial enough that you can just be in your head and you don't have to focus at all. Yeah, that's really nice when you're just doing something with your hands. That doesn't always work for me, but like it is better than nothing a lot of the time. Yeah, it really is. Like, you have to be insanely lucky. That's why that's a big part of the reason why I've always been like, if streaming ever makes enough to pay for like my gaming, I'm ecstatic already just from that. Because like I recognize that the odds, even if you're really good at it, even if you're a really entertaining streamer who would be fun to watch for a wide variety of people, you still have to be insanely lucky to actually make it to the point where you can do that kind of thing full time. And that's true about any kind of content creation, because there's too much content and not enough time for people to enjoy it, you know? Yeah. Like there's so much content in the world and so little time in comparison. You know what would go wild for all of the world? Someone invents a device that lets you experience like content and things while you're sleeping at an enhanced rate. So you can like read and fully experience 30 books in a night type vibe, but you can't make anything. Then maybe you wouldn't need to be ridiculously lucky at making while making things to make it. Then actually all of the good authors, musicians, and content creators and artists and all of that, all of the people who are actually good at those things would actually make it. Being good at it would be enough if someone invents a device that lets people experience content while they sleep at a ridiculously enhanced rate, but not make new content. That's what it would take. Like, that's what it would take for you to not need to be lucky at creative efforts. I wouldn't give it 10 or so years, mainly because while I do think that's like a reasonable technology that could one day exist, you know, letting our brains do things while our body sleeps. While I do think that's a reasonable possibility, chances are that your brain would also be able to still create content while you sleep. I mean, I don't think a lobotomy is gonna cure ADHD no matter how advanced medical science gets. Because that's more an issue of how your brain processes baseline. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an issue with like a specific part of your brain. Now they might have better drugs than Adderall by then, or whatever the other alternatives to Adderall are. I mean, it doesn't matter. It'll fail no matter what, because the issue isn't based in a single part of the brain. You get what I mean? Like, ADHD is fundamentally an issue with how your brain processes serotonin information and other reward chemicals like dopamine and stuff. Removing a specific part of the brain doesn't fix that. Now there might one day be like a super complicated thing they do where they change a part of your brain. I'm not sure I'd sign up for that though, because like, would I even be me after? But I guess medication's all kind of the same way, right? A lot of people don't really feel like themselves on that medication. but I need more wood beams. And it's the same kind of thing that I ask myself of like, it's the same kind of things I ask myself when I'm like, would I use a Star Trek style teleporter? Because is it even me coming out the other end? Type vibes. Yeah, I feel that where you're like, how much of, like, I'm very heavy masking, like to the point that I don't actually know what I have because I masked so hard that I was never diagnosed with anything. I'm gonna get that fixed later this year, hopefully. Or it's that way at least I know, even if I don't get an official diagnosis. But like I'm gonna go talk to a psychiatrist and like get it figured out. But like, because I'm so heavy masking, I constantly have to ask myself like, is that how I actually feel, or is that just the mask? I still distinctly remember this time when I was in high school, and I do not remember the anime anymore. Like, I don't remember the context of this, but I do remember that there was this anime where like a best friend or a close friend was revealed to actually be the villain of an arc, and they'd been acting nice the whole time but didn't mean it. And I got like irrationally upset at the way the main characters were like, it was all just a mask. I'm like, shut up, the masks we wear are important too. Should have been a sign. Should have been a sign that I got irrationally upset at the idea that they didn't consider the masks someone chose to wear important. Because I got like irrationally upset about that one. And now I look back at that and I'm like, oh, that's because I've been unconsciously masking my whole life. So the idea that who I choose to be on the outside doesn't matter really bothers me. As a result, because I've tried so hard to fit in with the rest of the world by wearing those masks. But like that's a whole identity with like things that are anything that any condition that's disabling, which is most conditions that we bother to document, right? Generally, if it's not disabling in some way, we don't bother. Like, if it doesn't make it hard for you to survive in society, nobody cares. It's just a fun personality quirk. But like, that's always the struggle that people who have anything like that are gonna have, is how much of me is that thing, right? What am I without this? And that's only more true of the ones that are mental, because like you can't even retreat into your mind. But you know, it just makes you have to contemplate existential shit more often, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's certainly a tiring thing, though. Certainly a tiring thing. There's another one done. That's why, like, as my health improves, I'm like, I didn't mean to choose a craft, gosh darn it. I'm not sure how much more energy I'm even going to have. Because, like, well, part of me thinks that I'll have, like, all this energy. I'm like, I don't know, I got burnt out regularly from just living regular life, even before I had any health problems, right? Like, that was just a thing I experienced. was like I would do really good for a while, and then I'd be like completely burnt out for a few months. And that was just a relatively normal part of life for me. And it's why I spent most of middle school being the kid who stands by the fence and looks at everyone else having fun dramatically, because I was just too burnt out to be social. Also, yeah, that's relatable. If I had the energy to do all of the 3D modeling and everything necessary, I would make a spiritual successor to the Dark Cloud games in a heartbeat. But man, I don't have that in me. Oh, I should actually manage my inventory before I save and quit. Now that I'm done with carpentry. To what games? Spiritual successor to Dark Cloud. Since like I'm continuously sad that Level 5 never revisited the concepts again, right? Like, I really wish they would. I'd be so happy if they revisited. And there's not any other games that really are similar, right? Like, there's not really any other games in that very specific genre. Heck yeah. Our money goes up again. We're so rich. Yeah, it definitely doesn't scratch the same itch. And neither did Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni is just a very different type of game. Like, there's just not a lot of games that operate the same way. My god, I forgot how lucrative it was to make furniture. Look at this, Jesus. Mastering furniture gets you the real cash monies. My gosh. Not even yet an apprentice carpenter, by the way. I say as I put my stack of cash in front of the carpenter, the leader of the carpenter life. Yeah, I still need to get around to playing Rogue Galaxy. But I just haven't gotten to it yet. Give me all of my stars. Yes. Why did I get so many stars? Actually, I got 850. Why? What did I get the extra stars for? Is this just more? Whatever. Yeah. It might seem boring to craft the same thing over and over again, but there's a reason to do just that. So you make the same item a few times, you'll memorize the craft, then you can work in bulk. It's great to make sure you always have a full stock of essentials, like beams. You should talk to my former pupil, Decker. I think he lives in Port Puerto. Anyway, he's a master of automatic crafting. He might be able to teach you a thing or two. Say hello for me if you end up running into him. Just a slightly less annoying voice for Woody today. Congrats on making apprentice. You're moving up the ranks pretty quickly, kid. Let me give you some advice I wish someone had given me when I was starting out. No matter how much you love being a carpenter, there's no harm in trying out another life for 3. There's no better way to gather materials than by changing your life frequently. So get out there and experiment. Oh, and here's a little something to help you get started. Yeah, I dream of a Dark Cloud 3. We won't ever get it. Oh, so Astrobot had the Dark Cloud 2 reference, right? Did you hear that they dipped back in? They added tone to the game in the Christmas update as one of the references. I was so surprised. Like, referencing it once, I was like, you know, that's a surprise, but they reference lots of obscure games here. They went in again? What? Pet Upechi. Then Pet Cookie. And then I save and quit for the day. I mean, I think it was probably just a lot less IPs agreed to let them reference them than they thought would. Probably. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of things that they could have referenced. Like, they could have referenced so many Final Fantasy games, and they just didn't. Well, like, Final Fantasy's been exclusively on PlayStation since, like, from 7 to 13? I think 13 was the first one to also be on Xbox. So like that's a whole section of Final Fantasy that they could have referenced and just kind of didn't. Yeah. Like, but like from 7 to 12, except for I think 11 was always PC, because it's the MMO, right? But 7 to 12, excluding 11, were all PlayStation. And I don't remember, did they reference any of them? I don't think they did. So I think they probably just had more issues getting the IP owners to actually agree to the references than they thought they would. But anyway, I'm going to go to sleep. Good night. See you next time. Goodbye now.